Hi, we're going to look at how to tune into a stone and figure out what you can use it for, not only a stone but also a formation. So a couple of days ago I got an email and this is what it said. It was entitled Platonic Shapes, and then it said I have all 5 shapes in Shungite and all 7 shapes in another 2 minerals. I know how to use them to detect aura blockage, meditate with them, but I would like to learn how to use them in healing work on the body. I cannot find info in how to work with them on the body, only general information. Yes, I could place them in chakra order, but then how to proceed from there? I am asking if when you have time, you can do a demonstration or even a short tutorial on this topic. So I thought that's really good because that's something I don't know anything about. And I do have a friend, Jean Tyndall of Spirit Dancer Crystals, and she does teach about sacred geometry and how to engage that with crystal healing. But I don't know anything about it at all. So where I began was, the first thing was to check what all is falling in this category. And so I looked up Platonic Shapes, I looked up sacred geometry, and I did a very quick scan of the information. And the reason I only do a quick scan of the information is because all I want to do is get on the wavelength. I just want to know, just like when you want to have a conversation with somebody on the phone, your first step is find out the phone number. That's not the actual conversation. For the actual conversation, you want to speak to the person. You don't want to read about what someone else told that person. So it's the same when I'm researching a crystal. I want to see what others have said, but only in the lightest way, because I do not want preconceptions, and I don't want to be copying someone else. If that information is already available, then I don't need to come up with it. I need to come up with what we don't know yet, and I want to show how to do that. So that's the first step, is to do a little bit of very light research as an orientation that kind of gives you the phone number. What number do you dial to hook into this information? That is on the material level. And we're just fortunate that we have the internet and can mimic the etheric dimension with our interweb, with the internet, which is a very, very good reflection of what the etheric dimension looks like with regard to information as well. And then the next step is to actually hold the stones and do an etheric wavelength attunement. And so now the thing is, because I don't have those stones, I thought, well, what am I going to do? And then, of course, the stones started shouting at me. Is what they do is, well, you have spheres and you are very familiar with working with spheres. So this metamorphosis quartz sphere offered to be the one for this little demo. And I do know all about working with this in crystal surgery and using spheres for healing. And the main thing to know about a sphere is that it generates a very even ripple of energy because it's a very even shape. And the energy comes out evenly from everywhere because there's no active point or anything. And in my little scan very quick scan of information, that apparently is the classic shape to denote the feminine or the female in sacred geometry. For a very, very long time I've had this quartz cube, and this is one of the other sacred geometry formations. Apparently there's 7 altogether, and the cube is the classic shape to denote the male. And so I've never ever used this cube, this quartz cube, in healing as a healing tool. This will be my first time. Now, I do use various formations in crystal surgery. They're not the Platonic shapes. I use obelisks and pyramids and so on. Of course, the pyramid is important. This one would not classify in sacred geometry because the measurements are not all the same. This one is probably more even and correct. And you have to know, I don't know anything about this topic. I'm trying to tune into it here in front of your eyes, so we'll see what happens next. But I am not speaking sacred geometry. The question that I was asked was, how do I use these shapes to do crystal healing? And that's the question I'm trying to answer, not how do I do sacred geometry. That I can go to a teacher who teaches that, and that I can look for that information. I can look up on the internet and in books and so on. And I was quite pleased when I saw what I did pick up on with the quick scan, because there were some very interesting diagrams and so on that I have been seeing floating around on the internet. Didn't know what they were referring to. Now I know it's the sacred geometry. And then this is the octahedron, where you've got 8 sides. And this is a natural octahedral formation in fluorite. It has not been polished. This is just its natural shape. It's rather stunning, actually. And then I do use this in crystal surgery already. This is green fluorite. And my guess is that this is a natural crystal that has been lapidated and polished. These are both fluorite. Good. So I know how to use this, and I know that it will do almost 100%. It's like 95% as good as an obelisk for doing one of the anti-inflammatory steps, the acute anti-inflammatory step of pouring the green light in. And I know that this formation, the shape, is what makes it work. And it's because there's energy coming in here and then coming out there, and this base, this broadness over here, it's just fantastic. It's like having a very, very big pot. It's an amplifier of the energy because of its shape. And so I can pour the green light from there. But I am accustomed to using this, and I knew that before I came in. And what I want to do is sit with this cube that I've never used before and show you how I ask it and get ideas, and then what I do next. So I take the cube and I say, well, what can you do? What can you do for energy healing? What can you do for crystal healing? And then I must just go quiet. I must just let the stone talk to me. And we'll see if it works here with the camera on me. The first thing it's saying is to turn it this way. And it says, well, just try using me point down as a grid, so any point. So there's a point, and so I'm going to try gridding with it, and wow, I instantly get an experience, because as long as I don't cover the points, each and every point starts working on the energy field as I tip the point down and grid. So I must hold it in the center, it's explaining, so that all points can work. And wow, it's just having this amazing effect in all directions. So it has a radiating effect where there's so many points going out into the energy field. And so you hold it in the middle of the energy field, and it's affecting everything left, right, below, and above. And that's how you can use the cube if you want to use an active point and get all the points to activate. Now, the benefit of this, I'm asking the crystal, what's the benefit of this? And the crystal is telling me the benefit is that the cube is, in addition to everything else, the symbol of 3D. And so it's taking the energy, this is what it just told me, it's taking the energy of 5D and converting it into 3D, but it's also doing it in multiple directions simultaneously. So that is pretty interesting and amazing. And so what if I use this whole edge like that? And this, no, that will have a different effect. So let's see what it does. So I use the whole edge. And strangely, it has a smoothing effect. I would have thought that with it being an edge, it would have a cutting effect or something like that. But it has this smoothing effect through the angles of the energy field. And so what the cube is telling me is that we usually think just back and forth, front and back, and we're not thinking about what's to the sides of us. And that is 3 dimensions. And we don't think in 3 dimensions, but by using the cube, we're going to get 3-dimensional healing in the energy field as we're doing it, without having to add the thought and intention in. And that's why it feels like it's a smoothing effect, because it's smoothing across all these surfaces as we go. And that's pretty extraordinary experience. Wow. Nice. Woohoo. Another day, another trick. It's amazing. Wow. So now the cube is suggesting to me I try turning it and working on with the flat side instead of the edge to see what the difference is. And it just passes through. It's not doing anything. It's just passing through. So now it's telling me, but if I catch on something, then that's giving you information, because something is getting caught on that needs to be smoothed. So I was like, is there somewhere? So I'm asking the cube, is there somewhere? And I say, yeah, at your crown chakra, you got like something jagged at your crown chakra. So I'm going to try smoothing it through the chakra, my crown chakra, from side to side. And there's the catch right there. This just there is where I felt the catch. Let me check again. There it is. And I actually literally end up stopping. Well, now what do I do? I don't know what that is, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do about it. So I asked, what should I do? And they said, turn me this way and dig out that catch. So I'll just do that. Put it in the bowl. Oh, I see. It's like sculpture. It does sculpture. So it's like a sculptural tool. So like a chisel and a hammer are tools that you can do sculpture with. Well, this cube is having a sculptural effect. That's nice. It actually feels like a palette knife on doing the icing on a cake. It's an interesting sensation. It's just smoothing off that. See, if I do it that way, it's not working the same. You just see what it, like that, with the sharp edge. And then I can check again. Is it smooth now? Yeah, it is smooth. Okay, I don't really know what will happen there, and it's obviously something you don't learn in a day. You go back and you try it again on another day, and you also try it with different clients, different people, different energy fields, to see if you get the same kind of effect or what's going on. And you keep notes and you log it and you wait and see. Let's see if we do that and we do that. And then I'm feeling a little bit tired, so I ask the cube, is that it, or is there something else you want to tell me today? And the cube said, yeah, no, it's not enough yet. It does want to show me this, that you can take the flat edge and you can pump a chakra with the flat edge. Oh, I see. And it grooms the chakra in a completely different way. That's pretty neat. Well, let me compare that to the sphere, because this is the other way that you learn, is by comparing and contrasting. So with the sphere, I'm getting an effect right there on the crown chakra when I do that. It's almost as if the sphere can travel through into the center of the vortex of the chakra. But with the cube, when you do that, or when I'm doing that, it's actually taking the whole chakra and doing that to the whole chakra. So it's massaging the chakra. The sphere will enter in and go through to the center, through the central vortex, but the cube massages the entire chakra, and it's creating a bounce and buoyancy in the chakra, and it actually feels very, very good, energizing my whole system. So much so that it's also suggesting to come and do the root chakra too in the same way. So there we, oh wow, and I can actually feel that in my physical body. So that's getting quite exciting and making me wonder why I never tried this before. So thank you, Ruth, for sending in that question, because you've opened up a whole new world for me, and I hope this helps to open up a whole new world for all of you too. Thank you.